Good afternoon. So today we will see first unit HDL design. So what is HDL? HDL is any language from a class of computer language, specification language or and modeling language, and it is a textual description consisting of expression, statements and control structure of the spatial and temporal structure and behavior of electronic system. Also, it is a formal description and design of an electronic circuit and digital logic, which allows for the automated analysis, simulation and simulated testing of an electronic circuit. Basically, VHDL is a hardware, HDL, long form of HDL is hardware description language. So VHDL is hardware description language which is used for modeling a digital system made up of interconnection of components. VHDL is acronym for VHSIC, hardware description language, and VHSIC means very high speed integrated circuit. So VHDL, V for VHSIC. VHSIC long form is very high speed integrated circuit hardware description language. So it is an VHDL is an industry standard language which is used to describe the hardware from abstract to the concrete level, and it has become the communication medium of design for specifying input and output from various design tools. The digital electronics designing using VHDL means the designer write code in VHDL language and then verify the function by using a simulator. Digital electronics designing using VHDL means designer write the code in VHDL language and then verifies the function by using simulator. After that the code is synthesized into a netlist, and synthesis means what? It means the code is translated into a schematic with gates and flip-flop. So this is just the introduction to VHDL. Now, what is the purpose of HDL? There are two purposes. Basically, there are two purposes. One is simulation and second is synthesis. Now, what is simulation? Simulation means first it is used to write a model for the expected behavior of the circuit before that circuit is designed and built, and the model is fed into a computer program which is called a simulator, which allows the designer to verify that the solution behaves correctly. This process is known as a hardware simulation. And what is synthesis? Second purpose. Secondly, it is used to write a detailed description of the circuit, that is input into another computer program called a logic compiler, and the output of the compiler is used to configure a programmable logic device such as FPGA, that is field programmable gate array, to perform the hardware function. This process is known as hardware synthesis. So these are the two purposes of HDL. So hardware description language, that is HDL, it describe a system which can be described from many different point of view, such as behavior, that is what does it do. Next is structure, that means what is it composed of. Next, functional properties, that is how do I interface to it. And physical properties, that is how fast it is. The HDL, that is hardware description language, describe a system from different point of view, that is behavioral, structural, functional properties and physical properties. The description can be at a different level of abstraction, that is a switch level, register transfer level and instruction architecture level. And the description can be used for simulation and synthesis. We have seen it. So simulation means verification, performance evaluation, and synthesis means first step in hardware design. Simulation means verification and performance evaluation, and synthesis means first step in hardware design. So, what are the uses of HDL? It is HDL, that is hardware description language, is used to write executable specifications for hardware. Also, it is used to model a piece of hardware before it is created physically. It is this executably that gives HDLs the illusion of being programming language. They are more precisely classified as a specification language or modeling language. The simulators capable of supporting a discrete event and continuous time modeling exist, and HDL targeted for each are available. So why do we need the describe system? The first is design specification, that is the definition of component and interfaces in large design. Design simulation, that is verify system or subsystem or chip performance prior to the design implementation. And design synthesis means automated generation of hardware design. So what is the need of VHDL? Every electronic design engineer should learn and use HDL language to keep the pace with the productivity of the competitors. So using VHDL, we can quickly describe and synthesize the circuit of 20,000 or more gates on a single chip. And the VHDL provide the capabilities, that is the advantages, such as the first advantage is the VHDL provide a device independent or technology independent design. That means VHDL makes it possible to design or verify electronic design or model without knowing the implementation device or technology, that is CPLD or FPGA. With one electronic design, we can target many device architectures. So VHDL is a standardized language. This makes it possible to change the development tool. The language can also be used as an exchange medium between the chip vendor and CAD tools user. We can verify the functionality of same VHDL code by using a different software tools such as Xilinx or Active, etc. Next capability is VHDL has a powerful language construct and flexible. It has a powerful language construct due to which we can write the code description of complex control logic. VHDL support both top-down and bottom-up or mixed methodology, and the language support the modifiability, as the language is easy to read, hierarchical and structured. Also, VHDL is a portable language. That means because VHDL is a standard The design description can be simulated on a different tools, one platform to another. The source code of the VHDL for a design can be used with any synthesis tool, and the design can be implemented in any device which is supported by a synthesis tool. Next capability is that the application specific integrated circuit migration, that means ASIC. If we implement the VHDL code on CPLD or FPGA, then it increases the efficiency of the product to hit the market quickly. When the production volume reach above appropriate level, the VHDL facilitates the development of an ASIC. As the VHDL is a well-defined language, we can be assured that the ASIC vendor will deliver a device with the expected functionality. Next capability is lower cost and quick time to market. The PLDs, that is programmable logic device, and VHDL together facilitate a speedy design process. VHDL makes it possible to describe out a design quickly and correctly, and along with the programmable logic device, we can shorten the non-recurring engineering expenses. Therefore, VHDL and PLDs combined together acts as a powerful vehicle to bring the product to the market in record time. So these are the capabilities of the VHDL. Next is different levels of abstraction. So there are three architecture or algorithm level which describe the functionality or the behavior of circuit. Next is register transfer level. Next is register transfer level, that is RTL level. It describes the data flow of the circuit. It describes the data flow of the circuit. Gate level, it describes the connectivity, that is structure of the circuit. And next is switch level. So HDL means what? It means a programming language which can describe the functionality and timing of the hardware. Now next is the design using HDL, or we can say design flow So this diagram shows the design using HDL, that is idea, then Verilog behavior model. Or we can also write the design flow as first is the requirement at the top, then next is the functional design, that is behavioral simulation, next is register transfer level design, that is RTL simulation validation, next is logic design, that is logic simulation verification and fault simulation, next is circuit design, that is timing simulation circuit analysis, and physical design, that is design rule checking. This is the description for manufacture. Next is the description for manufacture. So the design flow consists of first is requirement, next is functional design, next register transfer level design, next logic design, then circuit design, physical design. So design flow operate at multiple level of abstraction. There is a need a uniform description to translate between the levels, and increasing cost of the design and fabrication necessitates a greater reliance on automation via CAD tool. So increasing time to market pressures. Then synthesis design flow consists of requirement, then functional design, then register transfer level design, that is VHDL model. Then it is given to the synthesis as well as behavior simulation. Then synthesis is then given to the place and route, and finally to the timing and extraction. So automation of the design refinement steps. These are the automation of design refinement steps and feedback for accurate simulation. For examples are ASIC and FPGAs. So why use HDL? Difficult to design directly on hardware, so HDL is used. Also mixed level of modeling and simulation. It is easier to explore a different design options. It reduces our design time and cost. And it would be these days, it would be impossible to design a complex system on a chip for a mobile device or any other consumer electronic product without an HDL. So types of HDL. Basically there are three types of HDL: VHDL, Verilog and System Verilog. Basically there are three types of HDL: VHDL, Verilog and System Verilog. So VHDL and Verilog are considered a general purpose digital design languages, while System Verilog represent an enhanced version of the Verilog. Each has its own style and characteristic. The VHDL has a roots in the ADA programming language in both concept and syntax, while the Verilog's roots can be tracked back to an early HDL called as ILO and the C programming language. The system Verilog includes a set of extensions to the Verilog HDL to help engineers design and verify larger and more complex design. So, VHDL is somewhat difficult and complex than Verilog, and Verilog is relatively simple, especially for C language user. The VHDL it result in slower simulation, and Verilog it result in fast simulation. Then VHDL it is a superior in higher system level design, and Verilog it has a very good acceptance in ASIC. ASIC means application specific integrated circuit. VHDL here the procedure and the functions may be placed in a package so that they can be used for any design, and Verilog there is no concept of packages in Verilog. Then library is a store for compiled VHDL code, and for Verilog there is no concept of library. Then VHDL allows a concurrent procedure calls, and the Verilog it does not allow a concurrent task calls. So this is the difference between the VHDL and Verilog. So the Verilog is also a programming language, that it is also hardware description language. It understands the behavior of the hardware. Its syntax are similar to C language. It is easy to learn and use. The Verilog HDL is both a behavioral and structural language, and the Verilog is a case sensitive language. So models in the Verilog HDL can describe both the function of the design and the component. It can also define the connections of the component in the design. And the system Verilog is superset of Verilog 2005 with the new features and the capabilities to design verification and design modeling. As of 2009, the system Verilog and the Verilog language standards were merged into the system Verilog 2009, that is IEEE standard 1800 to 2009. So in VHDL there are three terms. Synthesis, simulation and test bench. Synthesis means converting code to the circuit. Simulation means giving input and verifying the functionality of the circuit. And test bench means helps in generating the input signal for simulation. Now first we will see some features of VHDL. The first feature is concurrent language. That means the concurrent statements execute at the same time in parallel as in hardware. So here the sequence of the statement is not important. Second feature is sequential language. So the sequential statements execute one at a time in sequence as in any conventional language. The sequence of the statement is important. The VHDL is it is of the concurrent and sequential language. The netlist language, it is produced after synthesizing VHDL code. The netlist is textual information of a logic cells and their interconnections. It is in industry standard format named EDIF, that is Electronic Design Interchange Format. The netlist is used to exchange a graphical and electronic data between EDA tools from various vendors. The next feature of VHDL is timing specification. The clocks of different frequencies can be generated by using VHDL. The time specification can be assigned to the signals, or the VHDL supports both synchronous and asynchronous timing models. The next test bench. The test benches can be written using VHDL to test other VHDL models. The test bench is VHDL model which generate a set of test vendors and send them to the module being tested. The test benches are needed to ensure that the design is correct or not. Then design hierarchy. The hierarchy can be represented using VHDL. So consider the example of full adder, which is the top level module, and it is being composed by three lower level modules, that is half adder and OR gate. It means VHDL is a structural language. The next feature of VHDL is it support a design libraries. The analyzed VHDL code can be inserted into a design library, and it is a storage facility in which analyzed VHDL descriptions are stored. This design unit can be used for any other design. Also, VHDL has a powerful language construct such as if, else, which, select, case, when, etc. VHDL has 9 value packages, that is standard logic 1164, so we can assign one of the value from 9 values to the system. The VHDL support a flexible design methodologies, top down, bottom up or mixed. So these are the features of VHDL. So the VHDL was originally introduced for the two main purpose. One is, that is, first is it was used as a documentation language for describing a complex digital circuit, and second is VHDL provided a features for modeling the behavior of a digital circuit, which allows its use as an input to the software program that were used to stimulate the circuit's operation. The VHDL has also become a popular for use in the design entry in CAD system. CAD tools are used in synthesizing VHDL code into hardware implementation of the described circuit. The VHDL is a complex, sophisticated language, so learning all the features in is a daunting task. However, for use in synthesis, only a subset of these features is important. Then VHDL is similar to the most high level software language, which provides a strong type checking. It has a constants which enable to express the concurrent or sequential behavior of digital system with or without timing. It also allows the interconnecting components. So modeling style means it is the way in which functionality of the design is described. In VHDL there are three types of modeling style: behavioral modeling, data flow modeling, and structural modeling. In short, we will see what is this modeling. So behavioral modeling means in this modeling type the behavior of entity means what? Input and output relationship. Entity means the relation between input and output, and it is expressed using sequential statement. This modeling is high level description of the system under test. The details of the gate level implementation are not required for this type of modeling, that is for behavioral modeling. In this behavioral design method, the schematic of interconnection symbols are not used. Rather, the circuit is defined in terms of textual language. This style of modeling needs input specification or truth table as design specification. Then data flow modeling, data flow modeling is based on concurrent assignment statement. The flow of data through the entity is expressed using concurrent signal assignment statement. When any input signal changes its value, each statement gets executed. The data flow modeling style needs a Boolean equation as a design specification. And third, the structural modeling, it is hierarchical design method. Here subcomponents perform a smaller operation of the complete model. Each component can be simulated individually. In structural modeling method, the entire design is split into a small module, and the logical diagram is required a design specification for this type of the method. In structural modeling style, the components from libraries or from working directory are connected together. So, in this lecture, we have seen what is HDL, purpose of HDL, its uses, then the levels of abstraction, the design flow of HDL, why we use HDL, then types of HDL, and introduction to VHDL. In the next lecture, we will see the different elements of VHDL such as identifier, data object, data types and operator in detail. Thank you.